Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here, and welcome to part 4 of the new Q&A series. And no, I'm not going to restart and forget to edit like I did the last time. I did that last time, and what a pain. Everyone pointed it out, and I'm like, oh, jeez. But the first question is, if you started getting more regular film roles and bigger ones, does that mean you would start inching away from YouTube? I don't really have any plans at all to leave YouTube. I mean, I'm always going to do DVD updates and reviews. I really don't see myself going away from it. I mean, there may be periods of time when I may be away for like a week or two for a film or something, but I'm not planning to, disappear or anything like that. Hey, Sean, what do you think about Ron Paul, and do you like him? I mean, I don't know a whole lot about Ron Paul. Some people, said, why aren't you into politics and all that stuff? It's just never really been my interest. I kind of just live my life and do what I do, and never really let all that stuff concern me. I know, yeah, I probably should, but I just don't. What will make you turn down a film role? For example, too much CGI, too modern, or just a half-assed production? Well, more or less, I mean, right now, I don't really care if there's CGI in it. I mean, I understand, it in certain ways. And, I don't care if it's modern and stuff, because, if it's modern, I mean, people will watch it. So I don't want to be in something, see, I like weird stuff, but people aren't going to really watch all that. I mean, the only thing that I think that I would say was if it really wasn't, together, or they couldn't get me out there or anything like that. I guess things like that. Hey, Sean, I'm not sure if this question has been asked, but what is your favorite movie that you've been involved in? Well, I think I talked about that in the last update, but I would say probably, I would say Girls Gone Dead is the one that I'm really looking forward to, and I think that you guys are going to really like. I mean, up to date, it's the biggest budgeted thing I think pretty much the biggest budgeted thing, except for a few things where I had really small parts. But I really think it's going to be something you guys are going to really like. It's a total slasher, and not necessarily old school, modern at the same time. And I think it's really something you guys are going to like. I can't wait till there's, trailers and stuff up for it. And it's got a pretty cool cast, too, in it. Hey, Sean, 2 questions. What did you think of the film Videodrome? And have you ever heard of the Nostalgia Critic? I think the Nostalgia Critic is in a movie now. I think I saw a trailer with him in it. I think that's him. It might be that other guy. As far as I know, I think I liked his stuff. And I do remember, I've seen Videodrome only one time, but I did like it. I think I remember it was a little long, though. Have you ever gotten in a fist fight? If so, what was the reason? I know, people have asked me that a lot. I really don't think I have gotten in any, I mean, not that I can recall ever getting in any kind of fight like that. I do remember in elementary school, in the 5th grade, I got into some kind of a argument with this one kid, Alex, who I occasionally talk to online still. He used to, hang out all the time and stuff in elementary school. And we got into some kind of an argument about something, and I don't really remember what it was. And I think he ended up mooning the one girl or something at the lunch table, or something happened, and there was all this arguing, and then on top of that going on, or I don't remember exactly the way it happened. But the one lunch lady saw, and then she made us stay after, and she talked to us. And that was the same time that there was a music performance thing going on the next period that I was supposed to be in the same room. So the music teacher saw us getting yelled at, and he was looking at us like this. And then that same day, right after, we had to go to the music thing in the same room, and we couldn't stop laughing about what had happened. And he made us sit down in the chairs. It was a mess, but that was really the only thing I remember like that. Do you plan on getting your own place soon, or are you saving up for a house or something? I mean, not really. I mean, I really like where I am now. I mean, we came out here and found a place where it has a really good spot and stuff. I don't know. I'm right now, I'm happy with what I'm doing. Did you graduate college? And a lot of people ask that about, sometimes they get this kind of idea where if you didn't graduate college, you can't do anything. And, I don't think that's the case. I really don't. But what I do for a living is the YouTube stuff and the films. Sean, I donated Mountain of Flesh Eaters. Looks like it's going to be balls out awesome. I'd like to know what other films are you working on now. Also, can you swing by my channel and check out some of my stuff and give me your input? Yeah, now Man on the Flesh is going to be really cool. It's gotten to be a much bigger project too. I mean, I can't talk about it yet, but it's going to be a really, really cool movie. What I'm working on now, there's just a lot of things up in the air at the moment, so it's kind of like I just don't know, and I'm starting to get like a little bit more careful with things I do, trying not to do everything, trying to really do the really good things and stuff too. And I'll definitely check out your channel. It's Nick's Going to Hollywood. My two-part question is, correct me if I'm wrong, you're in Plan 9 Remake in the works right now. I wasn't able to do that. Just for a lot of different reasons. The reason I ask you this is because I tried looking up the movie on IMDb and only found the original from 1959. So my question is it going to be different, or are they going to pretend the movie doesn't exist until the movie is at least in post? Well, the thing is with IMDb, I mean, the IMDb is really weird with putting stuff up. I mean, you know, sometimes the movie gets up on there right away. Sometimes people have to submit the thing again and again and again. So, I mean, there's certain things too that I've done that have still not gotten up on there. And I think it's just the nature of IMDb. Did you get that spot in Prana? No, I never heard anything from that. I mean, I don't think really anybody did that, you know, had a name on that thing. I think they put David Hasselhoff in it. The bottom line is, though, it just means, you know, whatever. You know, and all it would have been was like some real quick thing. I do wish I heard something, but, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's not like it would have made me being in that thing. What I want to know is, why are you and MJ acting like pussies and falling out over a little he said, she said incident? Man, make up and make... Well, see, these are all from during when all that stuff was going on. I mean, everything's been made up. I mean, most of it was made up through text, because I really, like I said, I just can't really talk to him very much. He's so busy. I think it's been over a month since we've spoken on the phone. What is your favorite superhero, and do you think films based on heroes are good or bad? I'm really not into a lot of that kind of stuff, superheroes. I mean, I like Batman. I like the Batman films, but I've never really been a real comic kind of person. Have you seen Sucker Punch, and if so, what are your thoughts? Most people were telling me that it wasn't good, so I didn't bother with it. And I didn't really look too interested in it. And that one guy that was like, I don't know, that one guy in the trailer kind of bugged me a little bit. The way he was talking about it, the making of, it's got hot chicks. And like, just the way he was talking, he was like a David Carradine kind of guy that was not at all as cool. Do you think that Jesus could microwave a burrito so hot that even he could not eat it? Well, who knows? What is your opinion on the famous action hero Jean-Claude Van Damme? I've never really been a huge fan of him. Have you seen the movie Trash Humpers? If so, what are your thoughts on it? You know, my brothers always tell me about that. I haven't gotten to see it, though. Who was your first celebrity crush? I don't know for sure who the first would have been. I don't know, maybe Christina Ricci? I don't know. What was your favorite dark comedy, and what's your favorite foreign film? Dark comedy, like, I don't know, like something like Ed and His Dead Mother, and like those real quirky kind of movies. I don't know. I don't think that would be my favorite one, but you know, that's the one that I first think of. What's your favorite foreign film? Probably City of the Lost Children. Do you have a job? Like I said, YouTube, and then the acting. Will you marry me? I don't know. I have to think about it. You're my favorite person in the world. Well, thank you. Some of you guys need to stop asking about MJ. I really don't think Sean is in the mood to talk about the subject. Now, I don't really, you know, like I said, you know, that we had all that stuff going on then. It's not really a sore subject or anything. It's just, you know, he's in Maryland. You know, there's nothing really I can do. You know, I talk to him whenever I can talk to him. It's not like, you know, I'm not trying. I call him every single day and leave messages and just about what's going on and stuff. But, you know, I don't really hear much back. But whatever. You know, it's kind of like, you know, I don't really know. He's doing his own thing. What that may be, I don't really know. But, you know, he's doing his own thing. Hey, Sean, I'm a big fan of your videos. I was wondering if you keep up with other YouTube celebs like Shay Targe and iJustine. Shay runs a skit company with other YouTubers called The Station. Maybe you can act with them to switch up your acting instead of always doing horror. Would you ever consider this, or knowing or know them is a dumb question. Um, I mean, I wouldn't have any problem with doing that. Um, but it's more like, YouTube videos. Like, I'm really trying to not just do everything for YouTube. I really like doing like the films and stuff. So I mean, I would be no problem doing like a comedy film or something. But sometimes I just, you just doing something for YouTube isn't always as fulfilling as it is actually doing it for like a feature, and like, I don't know, something cooler about it. But I have seen his stuff. I think his videos are all right. I did meet him when I didn't know who he was at that point when we were with Wet Movie at Comic Con a couple of years ago, and he was there. And Brennan kept on going, "Ooh, this Shay Carlos." And I'm like, "Who?" And I had no idea how popular he was. So I was just sort of staring like, I don't know. Who is your favorite wrestler? I mean, probably always been, Hulk Hogan. Are you a Gaylord Lion? Well, I don't know exactly what that means. What's the best movie of the 2000s? Not sure. Would you ride the Civic on the Howard Stern show? Well, if I got to promote something. I guess that's what normally people do on there. I love documentaries and was wondering if you know any cool ones. Um, well, if you like films, American Movie is one of the best ones. And I don't know how much of it is real. I think everything's real, but you never really know. Do you consider yourself a celebrity? Not really, no. I mean, people say stuff like that, but I just consider myself just doing the things that I really like, and I've been lucky enough to have people that enjoy this, and have seen me in public and places like that and stuff like that. But I don't consider myself a celebrity. That's not the way I see myself. I just see myself doing what I like. What do you think of the Cube movies? Well, I really like the first Cube. The second one was awful. I couldn't even get through it. And the third one, though, was okay. Did you go to college? If not, do you ever plan on going? No way. Or would I go back? How did you get into the first one, the college? I mean, I did, when I got out of high school, that's a period of time when I didn't know what I was doing. And I remember I got a job at Target. And this is just a little bit of a long story, but I got a job at Target. And this is before I drove. And I had to figure out how to get there. I had to take the bus, and then that didn't work out. I went on the wrong bus. And I don't know. I'm not good at doing the buses. I don't really like that. I like just taking trains and straight shot things to places. Better at it now, though. But I had to take the bus and went to Target and had a bit of a panic attack there. It's the truth. Didn't really like it. Then I went and was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I ended up going to Essex, where MJ was, and took classes there. Then I got really inspired about making these weird shorts called the Thursday series, and basically flunked out of the classes because I was shooting all these things, these crazy weird things, where I would just get random people at the college to act in it, and would come up with the stories on the spot, and I thought they were funny. I'll put a link to them under this on the Don and Murph site, because I think that's the only place they're up on anymore. But it wasn't really my bag. But then I went to Sheffield about a couple months after that, which was like a film program. And I did that. I did real well with that. That was like 3 days a week at night from like 5 to 10 or 11 or something like that. And I did like that a lot. But acting is more my thing. Never really loved school. Actually did really well in elementary, middle school, and high school. And especially in the last years of high school, I was getting pretty much B's and A's and doing really well. But not something that I really like. Would ever really go back to school, especially now with what I'm doing, and I've been doing all right. I really don't see any reason to go back in there and have to sit with all those people, and I don't know, it's just not my bag. How'd you get into acting? Oh, that was just pretty much, I was always doing these shorts and always doing stuff for YouTube, the Don and Murphs, and a lot of people say, yeah, the Don and Murphs is silly acting and all that. I know, it was never meant to be anything good. It was just silly characters. And, I don't even know if you can judge it on as much acting as just a character. A weird, over-the-top, Jiminy Glick kind of character. So, I mean, that's... But then I got the, like I said this a lot of times, but in case you haven't heard, the guys at Synthetic Cinema came across one of my DVD updates on this cartoon website out of all the places, because I did one like my favorite cartoon videos, and then they looked at my stuff and liked it and asked me to do the stuff, and then I said, well, I do this stuff with MJ, would you be interested in bringing him in? So he came in to do the movies too. So that was pretty much how we started, and then in the last probably year and a half, things really picked up, and then I've gotten much better. I mean, well, I liked the Sasquatch movie a lot, but I've been doing a lot better stuff because I did some weird stuff in between, like little shorts and stuff with some friends of mine, because when I wasn't really doing much films. What's it like living with your parents at 25? Doesn't really, bother me. Do you feel pressure to move out? No. I think a lot of people that feel pressure to move out like don't get along too well with their parents. Like I've never been someone who didn't get along well with them, and I mean they don't seem to mind me here, and so it's like, I keep getting a lot of questions about this. What are the disadvantages and advantages compared to living on your own? Well, I don't really see any right now. Any major things. Do you upgrade DVDs to Blu-ray when they come out, or just keep the DVD copy? Say that's good enough. Well, the thing is, I've been able to find stuff really cheap lately, and a lot of stuff's really gone down in prices. So if they're really cheap and they're out on Blu-ray, what I do is I get the Blu-ray copy and then sell the DVD. I don't keep both of them. There's only like a couple films where I've kept both, and that's like if there's a feature or something on it that's not, things like that. How much money do you make from acting a year? Well, that kind of stuff all ranges. How much money do you spend a year on DVD and Blu-ray? See, how would I know that? What are your favorite kinds of music? Probably 80s music, and pop and things like that. Why don't you make a video, like a Facebook video, but make a Facebook fan page to accommodate everyone rather than the 5,000 friend limit? Well, I do have that. I have 3 pages on Facebook. I have the one with the limit that's full every time, but that's the one I use the most. But if it ever goes under the limit, like if someone deletes me or leaves the channel or whatever, then I can add somebody else on there. But I have, I think, like 1,000 or so, or 2 on the fan page, and I have like one with like 800 another Facebook ones. So I do have those. Did you see Hannah? Did you like it? I really liked that a lot. Sean, have you seen the new British movie Attack of the Block? If so, what'd you think of it? I don't know if that's out or not. Where do you plan on seeing yourself personal and career-wise by the time you're 30? Well, hopefully, still doing the films and things like that. Do you still enjoy making these YouTube videos, or do you feel compelled to do it? I don't think I feel as much compelled to do it. I sort of feel like it's kind of like what I do. I mean, I personally like shooting, like the around the towns and stuff. I kind of like to capture that stuff, but sometimes I prefer doing it when it's something good. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm going somewhere really cool or worthwhile. Sometimes if I'm just going some bullshit place, it doesn't really seem like it warrants me filming it. But people seem to like them, so I'm like, might as well shoot them. The DVD updates, I will say there's sometimes when if I'm not really buying too much or I'm really behind, I feel kind of stressed to do them. But I do like doing them when I do them. The pain in the ass is figuring out the lighting, and I've been using the phone because it's got better picture. But then I have the HD camera, but I don't like having to wait for the thing to load. It takes because when I use that, I have to play the tape, and I hate doing it that way. I have to play it back and watch the whole thing, and then I have to compress it. I love with the hard drive aspects of them, and I'm gonna try and do one somewhere with better lighting. I like the DVD room. The lighting in there just bugs me so much. Just trying to get it right, and it's a small space. And then you put that light on you, and it's real close, and it's boiling hot in there because you can't put the air on. So it's like, oh, it's a pain. Hey man, I'm inspiring DVD collector and wanted to know, how do you afford all the cool things you have in your house? The thing is, a lot of people think I just buy this all of a sudden. A lot of things that I have, I've had for years. Like posters and some of the toys. I've had them for like a decade. If you see your videos and not knowing who you are, how do you react? See your videos and not know who you are? I'm not sure what that means. Would you rather be left to die in the middle of the ocean like an open water or a plane crash? or be trapped with your legs broken, burning alive. Well, the thing is, with the ocean, there is a chance you could get out of it. You know what I mean? I think, so there is a bit of a chance, you could be spotted by a boat, So I'd probably say that. What do you think of the movie Dead Girl with Noah Segan? I think that's the one. Yeah, I like that one. That was pretty good. Is it hard getting into movies, and how did you do it? I mean, a lot of people, it can be, but it's just, a lot of networking and a lot of, things like that. It's just a lot of things involved with it. What inspired Don and Murph? Well, in school, we had to do an assignment, and it was like in the 10th grade, to do an assignment on just some kind of video or something. So we thought we would make this Mr. Rogers spoof, but Mr. Rogers died the day before we were going to do it. We're like, I don't feel right about doing this. So then there was a show on the education channel called Math Homework Helpers, which me and MJ always kind of laughed at. It was like these teachers and this puppet. People would call in with their problems. They'd be like, "What's 6 plus 6?" And they would like do it for you, and so it was ridiculous. And people used to call it and prank it. And that was kind of what inspired us to do like a show like that with these two nerdy movie reviewers. So that was kind of how that started. They are releasing Titanic in 3D. You're planning on seeing it? I don't really think I care to see that again in the theaters. I'm probably watching it again on Blu-ray at some point, but not too into that, like seeing it again. So kind of like I saw it already. How many pornos do you have in your collection? I really don't have many. Maybe like 70s ones, but they're like ones with stories, not like the things now. Did you go to college, university? If so, what did you major in? Well, I talked about that earlier. Hey Sean, I've been watching your videos for a few years and just can't get enough. I was wondering, where do you take your inspiration from? I know you talk a lot about shot on horror movies and things like that from the 80s. Would you be fair to say a lot of your videos you can trace your roots back to them? I would say like things like that, and Pee-wee and just sort of like silly style stuff, but like the DVD things are just kind of just sort of me talking about it, because it started out more just showing them what I got new, then became more reviews. So I think I was the first person to do the DVD collection update video with that title, as far as I know. There was people who did videos showing DVDs with their whole collection, but I think doing the reviews and calling it that, I think, was like the first. So there really wasn't any inspiration for that aspect, but for showing them, I think I just saw other people showing them, and then I wanted to do shows like, well, I might as well show them. Do you think they should do Ghostbusters 3 since it's a classic 80s franchise? Do you think it would have the same charm in the current time? It probably would be a little bit like the Indiana Jones, where people are really looking forward to it, and they see it and it's not as good as they hoped. Because something about when seeing it years ago when you're a kid or younger, it probably wouldn't have the same feeling that the originals did. Also, why do you think Sony hasn't released Ghostbusters 2 on Blu-ray? Maybe people, I don't know, there's been a lot of stuff. People always talk about how it's not that great and stuff. I always liked it, though. But anyway, though, this is all for this part, because I don't want to keep making these things too long. But anyway, though, I'll see you soon in part 5.